Shabbat Shalom, Moadim L'Simcha. And it is a pleasure to be back in Vancouver. As you can see, I'm finally back in my office after having traveled from Australia and spending the first few days in Pittsburgh of Passover. It was a delight to be in Pittsburgh with my family for the Sedarim, for the first couple nights of Passover. The Seder is a wonderful event. It's not a surprise that it is the single most celebrated custom in Judaism in North America, because it does give us an opportunity to come together in a special way with meaning with our family. One of the things that I love about the Seder is the fact that the number 4 plays such an important role in the Seder. There are, of course, 4 cups of wine. There are the 4 children that we talk about near the beginning of the Seder. The child, she'eino le'yodei le'shol, who doesn't know how to ask. This isn't a child who's good. It's not a child who's bad. It's just simply one who doesn't have the ability to figure out questions to ask. There is the child that is the Rasha, the evil one. This is the child who reminds me of Korach, who would challenge Moses in the Torah for authority, tried to usurp Moses' authority, not for the sake of improving the people, but because Korach wanted the power himself. And then there is the child who's Tam, who's simple. This child is simple, but also perfect in his simplicity. It reminds me of Noach, who the Torah begins by telling us is Yashar v'Tamim, who is straight and upright, who is perfect in his existence, but truth be told, isn't like Abraham, who comes a little bit later. When Noach is told that the world is going to be destroyed and he needs to build an ark, Noach simply says, okay. He doesn't challenge God, as opposed to Abraham, who when he's told that people are going to die because they are evil, he challenges God. And he tries to correct the situation before bad things happen to them. And finally, there is the child who is Chacham, this the wise one. According to Jewish tradition, we have different types of intelligences. One which is dat, is knowledge, and one which is wisdom. A wise person, or a wise child, learns from the past for the sake of the future. A wise child is like Abraham, is willing to challenge when that challenge is necessary, willing to ask questions and learn for the future. In the Haggadah, there are also 4 questions. I remember my very first job in Jewish education, when I was a Hebrew school teacher, coming out of high school in my first year of university. The director of the Hebrew school said, any good Jewish institution of learning will ensure that their children know how to ask the 4 questions well. It's a very sad statement. Why? The Mishnah tells us in Mishnah Psachim that you should create a Seder and teach your children so that they will be able to ask questions at the Seder. And God forbid you should have a child who doesn't have the ability to figure out which questions to ask. Then you should feed them these particular questions, and those questions are the foundation of the 4 questions. The Mishnah in Jewish tradition doesn't want us to have children who are asking 4 questions based on what they are fed, but rather it wants us to have children who are asking questions that come from their heart, that come from their mind because of everything that they have learned. They have questions that they are challenging their parents, that they're challenging the adults, that they're challenging the institutions with. That is the essence of Jewish education. And that is what we should be striving for in our Jewish world today, to give our children and to give all of us the tools with which to ask the right questions, not just questions that are scripted. And by doing that, we are guaranteed success in the future. Shabbat Shalom and Moadim L'Simcha.